Super Rugby, round number 14, folks, is in the bag. There were just the 4 games with 3 teams on the bye this week. We'll go through them pretty quick. What happened? How does the table stand? And what is the upcoming fixtures looking like for round 15? You guys can let us know your thoughts on who you reckon is going to come good come playoffs time. Chiefs up against Highlanders. The saddest news for this one is Caleb Tangitau's got an Achilles injury, which is going to see him miss a lot of rugby. He would have definitely been on Dave Rennie's shortlist for All Blacks selection this year because the guy in a Highlanders team, which is not even in the playoffs at the moment, has looked like an absolute weapon. And the worst part about that is that happened at the end of the game when there was literally nothing to play for but pride. I know losing teams don't kick the ball out. They have to keep going, try and salvage a bit of face, but that sucks. If the ball goes out earlier, game ends, Caleb Tangitau still fit and rearing to go, but he's out. So that doesn't do the All Blacks any favours. I know we got good wingers, but geez, that guy has looked something special. For the game itself, the Chiefs 40-12, good value for their win. I don't think the Highlanders were bad, but boy, can they not convert down the red zone. They had more entries into the Chiefs 22 than the Chiefs had into the Highlanders, but look at the score. Satiti, Akoi, Tokiaho, Rowe, McAllister, Brown, all getting tries. And that Brown try came after the Highlanders had thrown the kitchen sink at them, well into the clock being red, Tangitau getting injured, and then them going down the other end and scoring. So it absolutely cost the Highlanders more points instead of saving a bit of face. Casey and Nipkins, Ratuatuuki Nipkins got the tries for the Highlanders, but yeah, the Caleb Tangitau one is particularly brutal, given that he wasn't too far away. 6 tries to 2. 8 turnovers, 1-5 for the Chiefs. Tupavai was big in that regard. Simon Parker had a good game, big dominant tackles. But yeah, bonus point win for the Chiefs, putting their foot forward ahead of the playoffs. They're waiting for the Hurricanes to slip up somewhere to see if they can catch them, but it ain't happening. Not yet, anyway. Then the Saturday games, the Drua up against the Waratahs. That's a bit of a surprise package game because the Waratahs, I'm wearing your kit because your team has been in terrible form, playing like a dog's breakfast. But boy, you go to Fiji, I've written you off. You put 50 points on them. 50 points. Sure, the Drua missed a fair few tackles. Potter's try was really nice from a nice work set play. Moananu got a couple. We've seen him for the Crusaders last year. We know what he can do. He's a devastating ball carrier. He's got a bit of toe. Jorgensen, Sid Harvey, Wilson, who was a late replacement was supposed to be on the bench, but Suli pulling out meant they had to rejig their team. Teddy Wilson got one. Scott Young got one. Made a bunch of tackles as well. They got a heap of tries, the Waratahs. It was fantastic from their point of view and keeps their season well and truly alive. The Drua did have a bit of a late comeback to salvage a bit of face from their perspective. And Ndongia got the one in the first half. Tanakavata Salawa, Samusova Mayana Vanua rounding out the try score. So a fair few forwards getting tries for the Drua. And this one, rather than those sexy back conditions, maybe not helping the free-flowing back play. But yeah, 8 tries to 5. So it's a bonus point win for the Waratahs, which given their season is much needed. It's a little bit closer on the scoreboard than it might have been if the Waratahs had kicked more conversions. They were 8 tries, 5 converted, whereas the Drua were 5 from 5 on their conversions. But 80% tackle percentage for the Drua, still not good enough. That's what we'd seen from the Tars in previous weeks, and this week it was the Tars doing it to someone else. The Tars were 84? So still not flash, but better. And the Drua lineout still not great. Angus Scott Young, 16 tackles and that try. Had a good outing, but yeah, Waratahs still alive with a, for me anyway, unexpected win. Then the Blues against the Hurricanes. This one was particularly brutal because it was Eden Park, 20-odd thousand people there, and the Blues got flogged, 47-24. The Blues at least managed to get 24 points in the second half because they were at 0 at halftime. The Hurricanes are still very good. And talking about missed tackles, this was the Blues week for missed tackles. They missed 38 in this game, which is certainly the most of the week. It's more missed tackles than the Drua, but a better overall percentage than the Drua. Derns with another charge down try. Geordie Barrett, Tossie getting the first half ones. Naholo's one was a really nice work set play. If you haven't seen it, well worth going to see the highlights. Finanganofa's one was from a big old forward pass, which sucks. I know the officials in Super Rugby have kind of been instructed, you know, let things go a little bit. Don't get the TMO involved with everything, but there's got to be a line somewhere. That line has been pushed out a little bit too far. Bring that back in a little bit, just a little bit, because that was a forward pass. But he's equaled the try scoring record, so congrats to him. Tupu and Lakai got him as well. Lakai got them the bonus point back because the Blues had a wee bit of a comeback. You know, Rampling got a nice one, Lamb got one, Eklund got one. So they had taken the bonus point off the Canes right at the death, but then the Canes got it straight back again. Again, it's the Blues getting punished for playing into the red, man. They could have just scored that try, waited the full minute for the clock and kicked the conversion, I think, and it would have been game over. But the Blues kept playing, trying to save a bit of face, end up conceding another try. So something for be said for just kicking the damn ball out, but I guess hindsight's 2020. Segner was still good for the Blues, 23 tackles and 4 turnovers, 1. Caleb Clark had a nice try saver, but man, Inari set up 3 tries for the Hurricanes. They were really, really good. Finishing on all 4, 7 defenders beaten. I think that's your game of the week. The Hurricanes put on a display. They scored some very, very nice tries, even if you take out the forward pass try. How many other tries? Like the forward pass does not make a difference in the outcome of this game other than the bonus point. The Hurricanes are winning this game either way pretty comfortably. Final game is the Force against the Reds. The Reds have rested a few players going into this one, and they've lost over in Perth, 19 points to 14. So I think technically the Force is still mathematically alive, and the Reds' loss leaves the chasing pack with that door open. But the Reds have got some nice fixtures to finish out the season, so I still think the Reds are going to be fine. But they won't be happy, you know, to allow that chasing pack to edge closer with the Waratahs and the Force getting these wins. 1914 is the lowest scoring match of the round. Tackle percentages were a lot higher in this game, funnily enough. 89% from the Force, 90% from the Reds, so better defense on display. And it was a weird one because the Force were in a red jersey, so the red team won. The Reds were in white. Again, go figure. But the Force, I think it was a charity raising thing. So, yeah, they wore a red jersey against the Reds. Tizano got a couple, one from a maul, one from out wide, which was pretty nice. And Greeley got one as they were trying to make the most of Lomax. Kicking to him, but it was Greeley who finished it. Bryle and Ryan got the 2 tries for the Reds. The Ryan one was pretty nice. Scrum set play out wide. They did it pretty well. But the Force controlled the possession, the Force controlled the territory, and boy, could the Reds not win a line-out in that game. It was pretty painful to watch at times. So yeah, the Force, with an impressive win at home, as I said, mathematically keeps themselves alive. The table as it stands, the Hurricanes are clear on 50 points. The Chiefs are on 45. So as I said, still waiting for the Hurricanes to slip up, but they're going away to one of the top teams and flogging them. So they're not dropping any points. The Blues are there on 38. Kind of in that middle ground, far away from the top 2, but just ahead of the chasing pack. But the Blues do go on the bye next. The Crusaders, 32, the Brumbies, 29, and the Reds, 28. That's your top 6. The chasing teams are the Waratahs on 26, the Highlanders on 24, and the Force on 22. And there's the Drua on 20, and Moana way down the back on 4. So the upcoming fixtures are the interesting ones because the Crusaders can have their sights set on the Blues and potentially a home knockout game. But the Crusaders, I think, basically need to win them both. And they got the Chiefs and the Hurricanes. So, no, not going to be easy. But if the Crusaders can do it, that would be a late resurgence for the finals for them. They do have both those games at home. The Blues are on the bye, and then they've then got the Chiefs. So it's quite possible the Blues don't move from those 38 points if they can't beat the Chiefs in Hamilton. It's going to be tough. The Reds have got Moana and the Drua. So I still think the Reds are going to be fine. Moana at away, and then the Drua at home. I think that's why the Reds were still pretty comfortable to rest some players for the trip to Perth. The Brumbies have got the Waratahs and Moana Pacifica, so I think the Brumbies are going to pick up some points there as well. So it's still probable that the top 6 remain the top 6 and the chasing pack doesn't quite catch. But we will see. The upcoming round is the Crusaders against the Chiefs. Waratahs, Brumbies, so really, really tasty games in terms of their positions on the log. Moana against the Reds should be a lopsided one. But like I said, the Reds really need those points in the bank. Hurricanes host the Highlanders, and then the Force host the Drua. So the Drua away is always a tough prospect, and the Force finishing with 2 home games, 2 winnable games as well is going to be nice for them. They'll certainly give it a crack, but things are kind of out of their hands. They need the Reds to drop results, which Probably won't happen, but hey, we'll see. You guys let us know your thoughts. Can anyone stop this Hurricanes team at the minute? Are they going to choke come knockout time, or do you think they've got this year? They're still looking just a cut above. You guys take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.